Morning dear students. I welcome you all to English class, and in this class we are going to discuss a new unit from our Marigold book. Well, before beginning, I request you all to get ready with your pencil and notebook so that you can jot down some of the important points that we are going to discuss in our today's class. Before I begin, I would like to ask you all, are you missing school? Are you missing your friends? Well, I know almost every one of you are missing school. Even those who don't like to come to school are missing school like anything. And this is what it happens. When we have the things with us, we don't realize it. We don't value it. And once it goes far from us, then only we know its importance, its value. And this is what our today's lesson is all about. That is Unit 2, The Little Fir Tree, where we will see how the tree in the beginning of the story was not happy with the thing that it had. But later in the story, it realizes the importance of it, and then it understood the value of it. So let's get started. Let's begin the story. The Little Fir Tree. Shetty the magician was returning home when all of a sudden it began to rain. It rained heavily. Shetty looked around for shelter and saw a little fir tree. He ran towards it as fast as he could. Soon the rain stopped. Shetty was happy that he did not get wet. "Thank you. You have been kind to me. I would like to reward you. Ask for 4 wishes. I will grant them," said the magician. Now, let's understand the story. As the story unfolds, we see a magician named Shetty, which means Shetty was a magician. He was a person who performed magic tricks. One day, when he was returning home, all of a sudden, it began to rain, or it rained heavily, means it rained hard. It rained dogs and cats. Shetty looked around for shelter. He looked around here and there so that he can protect himself from rain. He was finding a place so that he can be there in order to save himself from rain. When he was looking here and there, he suddenly saw a pretty little fir tree. He saw an attractive fir tree. He ran towards it as fast as he could. When the rain stopped, Shetty was happy. He was delighted that he did not get wet. He was overjoyed with the kindness of the fir tree, and for that he wanted to reward or honor the fir tree, and hence he granted 4 wishes to the little fir tree. Now let's look the difficult words of the chapter. So here, as we have just discussed, magician means a person who performs magic trick. Pretty means attractive. Heavily means hard or with great force. Shelter means temporary housing for homeless or safeguard. Grant means permit. Reward means honor, and happy means delighted. So, till now we have seen in the story that a magician named Shetty once was returning home, and while returning home it was raining cats and dogs. And suddenly, in order to protect himself, he started finding out the way, or he started finding out a place so that he can hide himself, he can protect himself. And in that way, he saw a little fir tree which was very attractive. So he went there, he stood there to save himself from the rain. When the rain stopped, he was delighted. He was very happy because he did not get wet, and for that he was grateful to the little fir tree, and he was overjoyed with the kindness of the fir tree. For that he wanted to repay, he wanted to honor the fir tree, and in order to that he granted 4 wishes to the little fir tree. Now let's see what are the wishes. Now, the sad fir tree had leaves like needles, and no birds ever made their nests on it. So it said, I wish I had green leaves like my other friends. Next morning, its wish was granted. Soon, a goat came along and ate all the green leaves. Oh dear, said the fir tree. I wish I had gold leaves, as goats do not eat gold leaves. When the fir tree woke up the next morning, it was surprised to see gold leaves. How happy I am, it said. So, the tree was sad of its needle leaves. Means, it was sad of its pointed leaves, its spiked leaves. It was not happy with whatever it had. Rather, it wanted leaves like its friends had. It wanted leaves so that birds can come and make their nests on it. So, when he asked for this, the next morning as he woke up, he found his wish came true. But soon a goat came along and it ate all the green leaves of it. The fir tree became sad, and again he wanted and was not happy with whatever it had. So he wished or desired or need for gold leaves now, so that goats do not eat gold leaves. And again when the next morning he woke up, he found he was delighted, amazed to see the gold leaves, and he was very happy to see that. Okay, what do you think would be the next wishes of the little fir tree? For that, I would let it up to you. Use your imagination and also imagine that you were granted 4 wishes, and tell me, what would they be? So, till then, I'm letting it up to you to wish. What would be the next wishes of the little fir tree? Imagine, think beyond, and get your answer ready. And this we will discuss in our next class. Now let's see the hard words. We have needle, which means spike, or also mean the leaf of a conifer. Surprise, which means wonder or amaze, as we have seen here. The little tree was surprised to see the gold leaves. It was wondered, it was amazed to see its gold leaves. Wish means desire. The little fir tree wished or needed or desired for gold leaves. Now, to check how far we have understood the chapter, let's discuss the questions one by one. So we have question number 1 here. Who was Shetty? So here we are not going to discuss only the questions, rather we will also discuss the way to form an answer. So what are some of the common things that we generally put up in our mind while solving an answer or while writing an answer in order to frame a sentence properly in an answer? So the very first thing we have to see, let's begin. The very first thing here we have to say is that the question is, who was Shetty? So after looking this very particular sentence, we can say that this is an, I hope you have remembered what kind of sentence? This is an interrogative sentence. Why? Because at the end of this sentence we can see a question mark. Very good. And it is asking a question. So I hope when you have read the sentences, chapter number 1 in grammar, you must have learned how to change the sentences. So the very first technique while writing an answer, we have to change the interrogative into declarative. So how it would be? Very easy if you have remembered. So the very first thing we have to do is that in a declarative sentence, we put the subject first, then the verb, and then the object. So we put the subject first, then we put the verb, and then we put the object, and at the end we put up a full stop. Now, so here, in order to make it in a sentence or in order to make it as an answer, we simply have not to look up over here the word who. Why? Because it forms the question. So we'll begin with our subject. Now, where is the subject? So a subject in a sentence means who we are talking about in a sentence. So here if I ask who was Shetty, so we are talking about whom? We are talking about Shetty. So we will place Shetty first here. So it would be Shetty was. Now, so it would be Shetty as our subject. Now let's see verb. So here, where is the verb? We have verb was, W-A-S. So the second thing that we have to take care while framing an answer, number one, we have checked whether to change it first in a declarative. Number two is to see the tenses, that is whether it is in the present, means whether it is am, is, are, do, does, has, have, Number 2, whether it is in the past means was, were, had, did, or whether it is in the future, that is will, shall. Don't worry, you will learn these gradually in the chapter of grammar. So here, as per that, we can see it is in the past because here it is was, was. So we will see as if the question is in the past, we have to give it in the past. The answer would also be. So Shetty was. Now, who was Shetty? Shetty was a person who performed magic tricks. And who are called the one who perform magic tricks are called a very good. Who they are called to be? They are called to be a magician. C-I-A-N. And at the end it would be full stop. So what is the answer? Answer is Shetty was a magician. So this is some of the common way that we generally apply to form an answer. So that now from the next onwards you need to frame the sentence or frame the answer in your own way. Try your hand, don't worry. Gradually you will learn it how to frame it. Okay, so now let's begin our next question. So we'll move to the next question. Before that, let me make some space so that it will be easy for you all to understand. Okay, so I hope you have got number 1, how to frame an answer. Generally these are the things that we apply to be. Now let's see question number 2. So now we have the question number 2. Why did Shetty grant 4 wishes to the tree? So again, what we have learned is to see first that this is again an interrogative sentence, as there is a question mark and it is asking a question. So the very first thing we'll change it into declarative. So while changing the declarative, we of course not to use this, that is one. And now the very first thing we have to find out the subject. Now where is the subject? Why did Shetty grant 4 wishes to the tree? So who granted 4 wishes? Shetty. So Shetty is our subject because we are talking about Shetty, that is we are talking about the subject of ours in the sentence is Shetty, who is granted the wishes to the tree. So Shetty is the subject in this sentence. So here we'll begin again with Shetty first. Shetty, S-H-E-T-T-Y. So Shetty. Now, why did Shetty grant 4 wishes to the tree? So Shetty. Now we have to see number 2, that is the verb. Again, as we have already discussed, we have to look on whether it is in the present, past or future. So here we can see did is here, and we have just discussed that did means the past. So here we will write Shetty, G-R-A-N-T-E-D. Why? Because the past of grant is granting. So Shetty granted. Again we have 4 wishes. Now to make the sentence or to form the sentence, we have to take up the rest of the part of the question, that is 4 wishes to the tree, 4 wishes to the tree Now, to form this sentence, we have to have a link word. Link word means, or link word like BECAUSE is because. Okay, so Shetty granted 4 wishes to the tree because it was the tree was kind to it. Very good. Kind to it. And at the end we have again full stop. Okay, so this is the common way that we generally apply to form an answer. So what was the question? Why did Shetty grant 4 wishes to the tree? Shetty granted 4 wishes to the tree to link up our answer with the question. As you can see, 4 wishes to the tree. So to link up this with our answer, we have used a linking word, that is because, and then we have completed with the answer. It was kind to it. Okay, sorry, it was kind to, not it, because Shetty was a person, so it was kind to him. It was kind to him. Okay, let me make this picture clear to you all. And at the end, full stop. Okay, so Shetty granted 4 wishes to the tree because it was kind to him. Now, the next question. Let me make this question clear for you all. So the question we have is, what did the goat do to the tree? To the tree means the little fir tree. So what did the goat do to the tree? Now this question I'm not going to help you to frame. This is your time now to frame it in your own word. But don't worry, I'll provide you the keyword. So the keyword for this is, what did the goat do to the tree? If you have remembered, we have just studied that the goat, now I'm not going to frame it out. You need to frame it. You have to try your hand. I'm just letting you know the keyword, and the keyword is, what did the goat do to the tree? Ate all green leaves. Okay, so this is the keyword, ate all the green leaves. Now you have to frame the answer in your own word, and then you need to, we will discuss this in the next. Okay, now it's time to test yourself. So you will be getting 10 seconds and you may pause if you wish. So here's the question. State whether the following statements are true or false. Number 1. The goat ate all the green leaves of the little fir tree. Number 2. The little fir tree was happy because it had needle-like leaves. Number 3. Shetty saw a little fir tree when he looked around for shelter. And number 4. The little fir tree was surprised to see its plastic leaves. And your time starts now. Uh-oh, time up. So let's begin to see the answer. Now let's discuss. The goat ate all the green leaves of the little fir tree. Is it correct? Is it true? It is absolutely true. Now let's see number 2. The fir tree was happy because it had needle-like leaves. So was the fir tree happy with its needle-like leaves? Well, whatever we have studied today, we did not find it as such. So it is F, means false. Now, number C. Shetty saw a little fir tree when he looked around for shelter. Was it so? Very good. This is absolutely true. T for true. Now the last question. The little fir tree was surprised to see its plastic leaves. Have we discussed any type has such plastic leaves? Very good. No, we have not at all discussed. So it is absolutely false. I hope this was a piece of cake for you all and you all have done it correctly. Well, in case those who are not, don't worry, you just need a little more attention. Now, after watching this video, I would suggest you all to read the paragraphs of the given story at your own pace and then try your hand writing the answers in your own word. In this way, you will develop your reading and writing habit. So, thank you so much all of you, and yes, stay home, stay safe.